and welcome to Cornish Fishing Tales. In this video, I'm fishing with a guy called Dan. Dan contacted me on YouTube. He was trying to start sea fishing and he was struggling a little bit, and he contacted me and asked me if I'd take him out and try and help him out a little bit. So this is me and Dan going fishing. Dan doesn't have much luck this day. It's not really his fault, to be fair. I think the biggest thing holding Dan back was his fishing rod and reel. Weren't really designed for lure fishing, and it was holding him back. It was stopping him from working the lures how he should be working them. I gave Dan a few tips in this video. Like I say, he didn't catch a lot. I caught a few fish that day, and we kind of came to the conclusion that it was his rod and reel that was causing him the most problems. That's my dog in the background. I apologise for the scratching claw sounds. So yeah, I mean, in this video, Dan didn't catch nothing, but he went out and he bought a new rod and reel the next day. And he went fishing the very next day after that, and he caught himself a bass. So I must have taught him something. And then I went out fishing with him. The next time I went out fishing with him, he absolutely obliterated me. He completely outfished me. He caught way more fish than I did. I think I had one, and he had about three or four fish. So just goes to show you, on the day, every dog has its day fishing. We're all people, we're all normal, do you know what I mean? Most of us anyway. But yeah, this is just me fishing with Dan. I'm going to try and construct the video as best I can, because I kept forgetting to record and stuff. I was more interested in teaching Dan this day than I was to recording footage for YouTube. But I'm going to try and show you guys as much as I can, and as much as was recorded, as what I was trying to teach Dan. And mostly what I was teaching Dan here is because we're on a rock mark and it's fairly deep. Is to show Dan my favourite method of fishing this kind of ground is like cheap metal jig lures. I think they work fantastic. You're working so much more water with them, depth-wise, up and down in the water, and that's what I'm trying to explain here. You've got to let the lure drop through the water until you think you're pretty close to the bottom, and then just jig it along. But you've got to spend a bit of time and money losing a few lures, working out the ground you're fishing. You can't just turn up somewhere and expect to know that ground, because you don't know where the ups and downs of the bottom are. And it's only by losing those lures really that you learn that, like how many seconds you can count down before you start jigging, or you'll lose your lure, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to show you guys in this video. I hope it comes across and helps some more people out. Sweet, here we go. Yeah, look, watch what I do. I'm sure it's the action more than the lure in that, to be honest. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that hit bottom, yeah? So I'm hitting the kelp there. Huh? I don't think I've hit the kelp. Nah, so you're not getting down far enough then. So let it sink longer? Yeah, let it sink longer. Depends where you are. Because where I am now, I could probably count to 10 before it hits the bottom. Okay. And where you haven't got a treble on the bottom of that one, you've got a bit more forgivingness, because the treble's not going to hook the kelp as soon. If you look at that lure, turn it up the way it'd go. Yeah. Oh, you've got it on the wrong end. Put your clip on the other end where the hooks are. Really? Yeah, because look, if you imagine, what you want to happen is, if you go down, imagine there's not a treble on there. You see that single's only halfway up the lure. Yeah. If that hits the bottom, you got no treble there, there's nothing to catch. And when you hit the bottom, if you watch my rod, look. Oh, I see. You watch the end of my rod. Yeah. Look. See the end of the rod goes dum. Yeah. Look, when I hit the bottom, the line goes slack, so the rod tip moves, and you'll feel it in the rod when it hits the bottom. As soon as you feel that, pull up. Oh, okay. and then just wind in. Like, what I do is it depends how windy it is. Right, so what I'm trying to explain here is how to feel your lure down. If you've ever gone carp fishing, you'll know people go on about feeling your lead down, making sure you're fishing a hard spot, and this is kind of the same thing. probably the easiest way and the cheapest way to avoid losing lots of lures to do this is to go to the beach where it's nice and sandy. You need a little bit of depth of water. It's very hard to fill it down in like a foot. So you need 2, 3, 4 foot of water at least. But go somewhere where it's nice and sandy. You're not going to get caught up. Put a small lead on your lure rod, an ounce lead, and just keep casting it out. And as you cast out, when the lead's about to hit the water, stop the line with your finger on the spool and hold your finger on that spool so your line's tight. And then you'll have a tight line, and your lead's going to then pendulum down towards the bottom. You kind of follow the lead down with your rod tip, and as that lead hits the bottom, like I'm explaining to Dan here, like the lure does the same thing, as the lead's going down, your rod tip will have a bend in it because of the weight of the lead. As the lead hits the bottom, the weight goes from the rod. The bottom is taking the weight of the lead, so your rod tip will bounce upwards, the bend will go out the rod, and it will go straight and shake a little bit. That's when you know you've hit bottom. And if you're using braid and that, you can actually feel that through the rod. You can feel the bump of the lead hit the bottom through the rod. So let's continue on with. So right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's about 4 there, but see, I'm not letting much slack in my line, and I'm reeling on the way down. So pull on the way up and then reel the slack in on the way down, and move your rod down with the lure. Imagine the lure, you're following that lure down. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you'll just be doing that over the bottom, and they fucking love it. The fish love it. Whoops.
One for me, one for you.
I want another pollock. Come on, big pollock, where are you? I catch so many of them little pollock over there, I reckon they'd be wicked. See, look at how often I'm doing it, look. And I'm following it down. That hit bottom then, so I know to come up, look. You want to be just going just along the bottom, do you know what I mean? But above it. It's easier with braid on. When you got braid on, you feel those knocks a lot more. Yeah, because there's no stretching braid. Because you got stretching mono, it reduces your sensitivity to stuff like that. Oh yeah? But as soon as you feel a dumph, jerk, it's all practice, mate. Do you know what I mean? And even a seasoned veteran not like me will still lose lures. Do you know what I mean? I'm no fucking expert, mate. It's just everyone loses them. That's why I buy cheap ones, because I don't give a shit too much then. If I lose a £1.50 lure, it's like, oh well, never mind. If it's £9, I get the ump a little bit. Thing is, the more lures you lose, the more you get to know how the bottom works. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's not all flat. It's like over there it's quite shallow, but then it's like a big bar of rock.
I think I get too scared to get too close to the bottom because I've lost so many already. But
You got to lose them to get to know the area, and it's just the way it is. That's, like I say, that's why I buy cheap lures, man, because they still catch fish. And
fish don't know how much they were, do they?
no, exactly. They don't know whether it costs £3.50 or £1.50. As long as it fucking flashes and there's a hook on it, it's going to catch you a fish. That's it, perfect. Count to about 6 there.
Got a fucking wind on the line.
Have ya?
Excuse me, I'm having it since last time.
I get them all the time. They drive me fucking crazy, wind ups.
Almost feel the weight on the end all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Before I was letting it slacken off.
Letting it slacken, yeah. That's how you feel the bites better. When you've got that contact with the lure all the time, you'll feel them bites better.
Easier when you've got a heavier
Yeah.
lure on it.
Yeah, and also the more streamlined one, because like your one there could have been 28 grams, but I think I've lost my lure. Yeah, I have. If it's quite broad, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not keen on these new clips I bought because they keep opening up. I looked it through the belly, that's why it felt bigger. Yeah, it's a right little one. Me little sprat. Oh, you're gonna die, ain't ya? Look at the state of that. The insides are coming out. Another fucking garfish, I think. Yeah, look. There are loads of them about. Might as well keep them for bait, ain't I?
They love that, don't they?
Yeah. I won't change my lure because it's getting on my tits. There's obviously a lot of them down there. Oh no, hang on. That's a little pollock. That's a little pollock. Okay, happy days. Not quite big enough to eat. That'd make a wicked live bait though. Oh, I'll catch your big brother, mate, and I'll be well happy. That's my target. They're beautiful fish. I love pollock.
I don't think I've ever had pollock.
If you've eaten fish pie, you've probably had it. Well, they got sharp little teeth. Oh, you're in a bit of a mess, aren't you, mate? Got you right through the belly as well. Yeah, come here.
Hook him as well?
Yeah, it's because of the trebles, isn't it? There we go. Whoops. Come here, mate. Come here. It's probably the biggest one I've had in this year off this spot. I'll be happy if I catch a bigger one of them. Go on, go back. Hey?
I don't know why I've got stuff that doesn't weigh less than 30 grams.
30 grams is wicked weight for a lure for off the rocks, I think, and even off Chabarif, I think that. Oh, come on. It's got to be a garfish, isn't it? Alright, count to 5 or 4 and then start jigging quite. You have to jig and try and keep contact with your line. Don't let it go too slack. Because have I got another pollock? I have, haven't I? Yeah. Is that a pollock? Yeah. Okay, it's obviously time for them, isn't it?
That's a big one.
Hey, yeah, I want a big one, innit? Happy days, you poor little bugger. Let's try and get this treble out you first. Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. Happy days. Well, look at the colours on this one. It's a beautiful fish, man. I'm dying to catch a big one of these because it'll be stunning. Look at the colours on it.
Wow.
Look at the blues and the oranges and that. Stunning little fish. Desperate to catch a big one. Big one. They're supposed to fight like hell when they're big as well, yeah. They just want to go down, do you know what I mean? That's all they want to do is get down and snag you up in the rocks. Right, annoyingly here, I got confused, or the camera got confused. I just caught a pollock and I wanted to show you it. It's the first keeper pollock I've ever caught. It was 30 centimetres long, a little bit over 30 centimetres long, so it was legal taker. And I wanted to show you it, and my camera told me that the USB card had a fault and it wasn't recording, but it was. You can see it was recording. Yeah, so I thought it wasn't recording. I could have showed you it, but never mind, eh?
Three! That's the first pollock I've caught that's keep the size. And guess what? Run out of fucking SD card space to video it. Yeah, I was like, oh bollocks. I just have to do a little one when we leave. I might have to delete a little bit, I think. Oh no, hang on. Now that's a giveaway if I've ever seen it. A bit out of range for me right at this moment in time, but see a few gulls gathering at the front of this point, and now there's more and more and more of them. There's definitely something out there, some mackerel or some bass game, mentor and some bait fish. My mate's just gone back to get his feathers, see if he can get out there. There's definitely something out there. Look at those gulls, man. And they're dark gulls, the big black ones rather than the white ones. And from what I understand, that's the right ones. That's the ones you want to see. Look at that. That is mad. Right, so video camera run out of battery here, but Dan did go back and get his feathers. Unfortunately, he cast them out and it snapped off, and he wasn't having a great day, Dan. He did get a bit annoyed, so he went off in a bit of a strop. And I actually, the gulls come in a bit closer, and I cast out a couple of times, and I did actually have another keeper pollock just here. So it goes to show you, gulls, watch the gulls. That's one of the best tips I can give you. If you see the gulls diving down on an area, the fish are there. They are there. Pay attention. The bird life will give away where the fish are for you. That's one of the best tips I can give you. I can't say more than that. Yeah, unfortunately, that's all there is for this video. We did get a little bit more. I think we did catch a couple more fish. I think I had a mackerel off the end there where we saw the gulls. But it all got a bit distracted because we saw some people on the beach at Trebarwith. Well, not Trebarwith, the end of Trebarwith, where you can get cut off, and they'd been cut off by the tide. We could also see there was children there and a dog. The only way out of there is right up the cliffs. Basically, those cliffs you can see there now is basically to scale those cliffs. That's the only way out of there. And we did get a bit concerned for the people. We didn't know whether they were locals or tourists, so we ended up phoning the Coast Guard and making sure they were okay. It turned out they were a local family. The lifeguards had already spoken to them and told them of the dangers, and they said they were fine with that. They scaled the cliff up and down regularly, and they knew the score, so it was all fine in the end. But we got a bit distracted by it. Do you know what I mean? And that was the end of taking footage and that for the day. I hope this helps some people out. I hope it helps some people out with their lure fishing and how to approach deeper water marks. I fish a bit differently off the beach for the bass. I usually use a jelly off the beach because it's not so deep. I'll try and do some more videos explaining how to do things. I'm going to make an effort to do that. So yeah, that's it for today, chaps. I will try and do some more how-to videos, some better ones. I'm probably going to try and do some how to feel down, like take a small lead to the beach and show you guys how to feel it down. It's the same principle. If you can feel a small lead down on the beach, you'll be able to do a lure on the rocks. It's the same principle. The tip with the gulls is a gold one. That really is a gold one. The gulls have really sent me to some really good sessions this year. Seeing gulls somewhere and moving where I am to another part of the coast and fishing where the gulls are has really caught me a few fish. So anyway, happy days. Tight lines, everyone. See you next time. Whoops. Oh, there's a seal there as well, look. Do you see him? Big one. 3, 4, I hope I don't catch that.